Hello, ladies. I am Tamika. Welcome to The Gift. Thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. I don't have many videos, but I plan on growing on this platform. I think this platform is a great way for us to learn. I haven't learned a lot on this platform. So thank you, YouTube family, for accepting me into your family. Okay, and my only purpose is to be a gift to our world. I believe in the power of God. I believe that God is real, and not only God is real, God wants to have a great relationship with His children. So everything that I talk about in this channel is by experience, and it's a testimony of God's love for me. I believe in the power of God, and I want to be able to spread truth around to our young women about the power of God. That way we can kind of prevent some of the things that we are going through in life that's causing stress, that's causing heartache, and that is causing our women to shift right into something that is not good for our next generation ahead. So get to the testimony. I want to say a testimony about experience I have and the importance of us really having an established relationship with God. Because when we have a relationship with God, God will always show people that come into our lives. Okay, God will always show you who they really are. And I know sometimes, we might get into relationships and we might not. We might be yield to listen. And that's the thing is that when you are listening to God's voice, right? You listen and you react immediately because it can save your life, okay? We are losing a lot of our young women because they are not listening, okay? Sometimes we might get in relationships too soon, too fast, and understand that has consequences behind it. Sometimes we have to be able to yield and stop and think about what we're doing and not be processed by our emotions, but actually use our brains and our intelligence when it comes to our movement, when it comes to men. Okay, that will save us a lot of heartbreak. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the situation that happened in my life about 4 years ago. I have not been in a relationship in 4 years, and the reason why I have not been in a relationship is that my last relationship has taught me the value of working on myself and understanding that being alone is a way of healing. And I have been through a lot with men. Okay, I have been through a lot of heartbreak with men, a lot of disappointment with men, and I don't think I have ever been the Cinderella, right? I have never in my life experienced a love from a man, okay? And that's truth. Never. So I always yearned for that. I always wanted that. I was never treated like a queen. And I always wonder like what is wrong with me until where I can't be treated correctly. Well, some of the things that we do, some of the things that we carry, um, it attracts a certain man to you. And I'm gonna use this example. 4 years ago, I was in a relationship, and it was a pretty good relationship. In the beginning, I would say that he showed me more than my other relationships. I had never really went out to dinner, and we did things, and he did things for me. I have never been a woman that has ever been like catered to, or it got anything for Valentine's Day. I don't think I ever got anything for Valentine's Day. But he was the first one to give me something for Valentine's Day, okay? And I think I was like 34 years old, which is so sad. It is so sad because I don't think I'm a bad woman. I'm actually a really kind-hearted, loving woman. And I always want the best for people, especially when I'm dealing with you. If I am in a relationship with you, I want the best for you. And I would try to be the best for you. In this particular relationship, he did things. And it surprised me. It took me back. And he also had his own, he had his own house, car, and he was really independent. And I had never been with a man that has been independent. Okay, yeah, I have been kind of lacking in the confidence and love part on my behalf. Okay, but anyways, he was pretty cool, and we were intimate. I want to give truth. Okay, truth is important in order to learn. We were intimate, and during this time, I was having a relationship with God. I always had a relationship with God ever since I was 5 years old, but it had been on and off. There came into a time in my life where I was kind of confused about my happiness. I was working a good job, but I was not happy. I was making pretty good money, but I was not happy. I just felt like I was missing something. And it wasn't a relationship that was going to fill it. So I started to pray. I started to listen to motivational speeches in the morning. I didn't really get into the Bible too much, but I started to listen to motivational speeches about leadership, and from that I was able to be very successful manager from that, and lead my team in the right direction. That's what I wanted. So with that being said, I started to grow. Okay, I started to grow, and I started to grow, and I started to notice things when it came to how I handle situations. And one day I was, being nosy on his social media, because his social media platform was not like, anybody else's around me. He didn't really, get on social media too much. He was more of a laid back type of man, and I was being nosy. And let me tell you something about being nosy. Being nosy can break your heart. Being nosy is like you going through that phone and you're gonna find what you're looking for, and it's gonna break your heart. So I have been through that previously. So but something came over me when it came to him. And I just felt different all of a sudden. Because I was growing. I was starting to find things that were filling the void in my life. And I was looking through some of his pictures, and I was seeing the comment that was being made about him and his so-called baby mama. And he had been broke up with his baby mama. That's how he identified her. And it kind of it kind of threw a censor up. I was like, why would that person say this? And in the beginning, I always ask, are you single? Okay? Now, when I tell you, when it comes to men, you have to be very specific. You have to be specific. Okay, ladies? Be specific. Are you single? Are you with your baby mama? Are you married? Are you tied on to anybody? Are you living with anyone? You have to be very specific with them, because they will lie. Okay? And it's not even really lying. They will bend the truth. Like, okay, but I'm really not really lying, but anyhow, it threw a red flag up. So I was like, this is weird. So I months went on, and we were okay, and some chaos started to take place because I started to pray, and things start to happen. Okay, so one day I was out of town, and things started to happen in his life. He started to really come across some hard times legally, and that kind of hindered our relationship. But he started to, do things that I didn't find attractive. He started to hang around people that I didn't find to be great company. And he made a lot of excuses on his behavior. And it was like, oh wow, I'm praying, and I'm getting some answers here, right? So I was my boss called me one day, and she asked me to go to Detroit to run some stores, and I went, and I came back 2 weeks later, and I ran home, I got dressed, I cleaned, I went straight to him after that. And I was tired, I was exhausted. To make a long story short, He had been communicating with his baby mama when I was away, and they had a couple deep conversations, okay? And I'm not sure if they were seeing each other, but a lot of old feelings came up within those 2 weeks, and she showed up to his house, okay? Now, I, being the woman that I had become, did not want to risk all that I had built for somebody that I wasn't married to, somebody that was bringing drama to my life, somebody did not respect our relationship. And I had been in trouble before, and I did not want to go back to that woman, okay? I had changed so drastically, and I did not want anything to take me back from that. And after she left the house, I left the house, and the next day I get a phone call from him. I was very upset. But there was something that she said that threw a red flag up. Okay? She said that you are mine. You are mine. You are mine. And when I was in the car, I was at the grocery store when he called. I came out. I had a conversation with him. And something in my spirit asked me, "Are you married?" And he said, "We never got a divorce." I said, "Well, I asked you, were you single when I met you?" See, that's where that gotta be specific comes in, okay? Because if you are not specific with him, them being single is not having somebody around. But in the kingdom of heaven, they're still married. Okay? They're still married. So even though she was doing her thing and he was doing his thing, they're still married, okay? And my heart dropped. It didn't drop because of him. It dropped because I said I disappointed God. I really did. I did not listen to his voice. I did not ask the right questions. And that led me to a dark place. Now, after that, he said that he was going to get a divorce. And we got back together. And again, God started to work on me. He started to drill me. He started to drill me. Chaos started to happen. Okay? He started getting in more trouble. There was more women popping up. There was it was like a huge awakening. You know, I could not sleep with him. I couldn't lay next to him. I was turned off because in my heart, I knew that I was disappointing God by being in a relationship with him. Okay? And after that, I stopped. Okay? I stopped having relationships because one thing the enemy will always try to do is the enemy will always try to mislead you to think that this relationship is it. This is going to define who you are as a woman. And there's nothing better than this person. Like I said, this person had did things for me that no man has ever done for me. I never had a Valentine's Day. I never had anybody buy me anything. So to have that, right, and always wanting that, to me, it was like, I can't, am I supposed to let this go? You know, but when you have a relationship with God, and I'm not talking about a fake relationship, okay, because we all fall short of the glory. I'm talking about you're getting up every single day and you're talking to the Most High, okay? You're making this a part of your routine. He will speak to you. things will start to happen. People will start to fall off because he wants you to grow. Okay? That relationship taught me it's time to work on you, sis. You are attracting something to you, and you have to sit down. You have to be by yourself. You have to talk to God. You have to read the book. You have to read more books, and you have to work on yourself. Because if you don't, you will never get married. You will never be the woman that God ordained you to be. I don't care how many men that you slept with. I don't care what you have done in your past. When God looks at you, he does not look at you like you look at yourself right now. He looks at you as being the queen. Okay? And I was not thinking that I was a queen after I did that. Okay? So I learned from that you have to get to know people. Because let me tell you something, God will send you a man that's going to bless you. God will send you a man that's going to love you. God will send you a man that's not going to misuse you. God will send you a man that is going to be good for you. God will send you a man that knows who he is, right? And the devil will send you a man as well. And you have to be able to know which one is which, who's coming from where. And the only way you're going to know that is by not settling down and getting to know men. You have to get to know them. Because a man will never, they will never not show you who they are. Okay? But you have to be 5 steps ahead of them. You have to ask the right questions. Okay? Does he have a relationship with his children? Does he have a relationship with his parents? How was his parents? How is he a family man? Is he in these streets? We want street men, and street men are not good for us. That's what he was. Okay? They're not good for us. We lose a lot of women because they are engaging in activities with men who don't respect women. Okay? So God put me out that situation, and I wanted to share my testimony of being misled by the wrong spirit. And in the beginning he does talk to you. You'll get that tug on your spirit, like okay, something is a little off here. And then eventually he'll just blow it up in your face. Things will start happening. Drama, women, stuff will start happening, and stuff will start collapsing. You're thinking, oh, I'm in love with this person, and God is telling you, no, sus, don't do it. Daughter, don't do it. We have to be able to listen to that voice. That is a voice that is warning you. I want to say this. A lot of times, we hurt our children because of the type of men we bring around them. Okay? We do. Because some of our kids need to know what it's like to have 2 loving parents. And I'm not saying that it's going to be like that all the time. But give them a head start in knowing that true love do exist. And sometimes you gotta sit down and you gotta get to know who you are as a woman to know what you can bring to a man. And that is value. Be valuable. Okay? In the Bible it says that woman was created for man's help, to be man's helpmate. Okay? Now we walk away from what the biblical says, and we go to the world and feminists and say that's not true. That is very true. That's what our design is for, to be man's helper. But in order for us to help men, we have to be better women. And we have to use our discernment. We have to have a relationship with God. Because God will never mislead you. He will always understand you. He knows that you are a woman and you want to be loved by a man. But also, He wants you to love him. Okay? So always have a relationship with your Father in heaven. Never mislead you. Always will stand true to the end of time, to the end of your life, to the end of your last breath. His only mission is to love you. But he wants you to have a great life and not be misled by the media, by your music, right? Not by these social media influencers that are telling you and misleading you in the wrong direction about who you are as women. You are the influencers of the family, so you have to be careful who you are being influenced by. Okay? I know we have a culture of oversexual women. We have a culture of boss females, right? But there's nothing wrong with a woman that's intelligent and that speaks the kingdom of heaven. A godless woman is not needed in our communities. Okay? There's nothing wrong with women making mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to men. And all those mistakes that I have ever made has set me up to be the woman I am today and the woman I will be in the future. Okay? So, hit like, press subscribe, and be on the lookout for more content. Okay? I love God, and I have made a lot of mistakes. And I just want to be able to share my testimonies with young women. Okay? Because testimonies, they help us. They're experiences. Okay? You might hear a good word and you might have a change of mind. And I never had that. I never had that. I never had, positive women that shared experiences with me. And all I want to be is that positive person. That kingdom-minded woman that is in love with God. Right? God used rejects. He used David. He used Joseph. Right? He used all these rejects in the Bible to help, right? To be testimonies of his love. He built them up, okay? And they were not perfect. David was not perfect, okay? But he had to pay for his imperfections, okay? He had to pay for what he did that was wrong. So it's important for us to stop, okay? Stop doing things wrong and start understanding that those wrong things have consequences, okay? So God bless you. I hope and pray for every one of my followers. I pray that you gain a relationship with God. I pray that our daughters gain a relationship with God in the near future, and God will be a solid brand on earth, okay? So hit subscribe, hit like, and enjoy the content. God bless.